The drama continues. So Logan Paul, Mr. Beast, and KSI have dropped a product called Lunchly, which is in direct competition with Lunchables. And some people on the internet are not that happy about it. Now, I'm sure there were some other people that made some comments about it, but the most popular one that's been going all over Twitter is DanTDM. And he wasn't playing around. My man came for the throat. What happened to YouTubers, man? I can't not say anything anymore. This is selling stuff for the sake of making money. Simple. How does this benefit their fans? This is selling crap to kids who don't know better than to trust the people who are selling it to them. Do better. Anyways, as people tend to do, they jumped on this DanTDM tweet and they started to bash Logan Paul, Mr. Beast, KSI, and of course they eventually responded. Logan Paul says, "I'll tell you what happened to YouTubers. We spent our lives creating content and building our brands. Now we want to build businesses. You don't say anything when Lunchables faces bans for allegedly containing lead, but when we create a better version, you're upset. Then don't eat it." And he's not necessarily wrong. I'm going to get into that a little bit more at the end. I more so just want to give you guys all the information, all the responses, everything that's kind of happened so far. And then I'm going to give my opinion, which I guess isn't really worth all that much, but I feel like I tend to look at things as logically as possible. I try to be unbiased, and I feel like we could have a good conversation around this. Now, KSI's first response is an interesting one because he decides to go at DanTDM for having a toy called a U2s and says, "Looks like crap to me." The only problem with it is KSI also has one of these toys, and the person that created them used to work with the Sidemen. So it's kind of like he's taking a shot at someone who used to work with them and help them, and I assume that they're on good terms with. And I don't really know why that was the direction that he took, and of course, he got some shit for it, so he decided to go another direction. So he responds with, but, he was talking about food, JJ. He was sponsored, then promoted, and made a whole video on Munch Pack, a monthly sub box full of food and candy to his Minecraft audience full of kids. Now what? Now, this happened 7 years ago, so obviously he could have changed his mind. He could have felt like, you know what, I should have never did that. We should be better. And that's a valid thing that could happen, right? Like, you're going to change over time. You're not going to hold somebody accountable all the time for some shit that they did in the past, unless it was some horrible shit, like they murdered somebody or touching people or doing some stuff like that. But as far as him promoting something and being sponsored by it, he obviously could have changed his mind over the years, but I still feel like this is a valid response because he was promoting snacks and unhealthy shit to his viewers at one point. It's really no different. Now, some people are trying to play the game of, well, you own the company. He was just sponsored by it. That shit don't matter. You're pushing the product to the kids. That's really all that matters at the end of the day. So I do feel like this was a valid response, but it doesn't really change. It's almost like you did some evil, so I could do evil kind of, mentality. But before we get into discussing everything, Logan Paul did make one more tweet where he compared Lunchly to Lunchables, and then Mr. Beast actually responded as well. Mr. Beast's response says that Lunchables sells hundreds of millions of units and countless people eat it. Our goal is to give people a better for you alternative to it. Our turkey meal, for example, 80 less calories, 60% less sugar, more electrolytes. We use real cheese. They use cheese product, which they can't call cheese, higher quality meat, etc. Obviously, eating fresh chicken and broccoli is healthier, but if someone is going to eat a pre-made meal like this, which millions of people do through Lunchables, then I think giving them a higher quality version at roughly the same price is a net good, in my opinion, and why we launched Lunchly. Also, as we get economies of scale and can get things cheaper, we will be only improving the product more and more. And I also think that this is a valid response. I mean, people do buy Lunchables by the millions. That's something that's been around for as long as I can remember. And if you're giving them a healthier alternative, although obviously not the healthiest thing in the world, which none of these pre-made meals are ever going to be, I do think that it's a step in the right direction, right? People want you to go from being the evil to being the angel, right? And it doesn't work that way, right? There's all those steps in between to improving. So to me, a step in the right direction is the best that we could ask for. And if by chance they do get more and more money and they're able to invest more in it, get stuff cheaper, and even put better product in it, it's only going to improve. So I think that this is also a valid response, but I can understand why people still feel the way that they feel. And again, we'll get into that in a minute. Now, Logan Paul's second response shows the comparison of Lunchly to Lunchables as far as the protein, the calories, the electrolytes, and the sugar. However, he was community noted because they say the 400 milligrams of electrolytes in the chart appears incorrect. The 12-ounce strawberry banana prime of the Fiesta Nachos and the 12-ounce ice pop prime of the turkey snackums both have 500 milligrams of potassium not 400 milligrams. That does not even include the other electrolytes. Now, the community notes does also show links, and one of them is to lunchly.com, so I decided to pull that up. On the website, it says 1 Ice Pop Prime Hydration. This exclusive formula has B vitamins and 400 milligrams of electrolytes, which, if I'm not mistaken, is the potassium content in the drink. But if you pull up the nutrition facts, it does say potassium 480 milligrams. Now, I don't know if that's because something else in there also contains some potassium and it's not just the drink, but the drink itself is 400. Because when I look at my Ice Pop, this is an old one. This is when they first dropped them, and I assume they've changed the formula. But mine actually says 700 milligrams of potassium. And when you click on the Target link that they also provided, it does show the Ice Pop with 500 milligrams of potassium. So this is one of those situations where I feel like nobody's really wrong. The community notes are showing 500 milligrams, and they're sharing links. Mine says 700 milligrams. And the Lunchly site says 480 milligrams, but I assume 400 is the drink and the other 80 is coming from something else. So in reality, they're just changing the formula a lot, but they're not going to take off the old ones from the shelves. So the 500 ones are still being sold until they're gone, and any new ones will probably be 400 milligrams if they've changed the formula. That's my guess. So I don't feel like anybody's really lying. It's just, it depends on where you look. Anyways, that's all the information. I just wanted to get it all out there, everything that's happened, all the back and forth. And now, as far as my opinion, I don't really have a problem with them doing this. I kind of agree with Mr. Beast. They're taking a step in the right direction. They're giving you something that's more healthy than Lunchables. It might not be the most healthy, but at the end of the day, if it's marketed to kids, it's up to the parents, right? Like an 8-year-old kid can't go in the store and just buy something. Now, I get that they might put pressure on their parents, like, yo, KSI, Mr. Beast, Logan Paul, like it's their product, I want to buy it. But that's the case with so many different things, and things that get sponsored by big celebrities and cartoons and whatever else it is. And the parent has to be the one to step in and say, you know what, this isn't the most healthy. I'll get you 1 or 2, but for the most part, we're going to have healthy meals. And I feel like at that point, everything is fine. I mean, people go to get Happy Meals. They get a Coke, a Pepsi, a Dr. Pepper for their kid, which is not good either. Or none of the slop that you get at the fast food places are good. And I'm not saying that, well, because everywhere else sells horrible shit, they should be able to sell horrible shit too. I get that argument where it's like, someone has to do better, right? And so it'd be cool if it started with us YouTubers. But at the end of the day, some of the responses make it seem like they're literally poisoning kids. Like they're trying to take advantage of everybody and sell you the most unhealthy shit ever, when that's just not the truth. I mean, how many parents buy their kids different stuff at the store that's also not good for them? You let them have candy, you let them have ice cream, you buy them the little frozen pizzas, right? Like the Totinos or something. To eat one of those full pizzas, which is not even very big, is 1,000 milligrams of sodium. Like, we're just shoveling horrible shit down everybody's mouths on a regular basis, unless you go out and you get the most organic, good shit that you could possibly find. How many kids have cereal every day? Even the ones that are promoted as healthy, they're not healthy. They're not good for you. You shouldn't have cereal literally at all. If you talk to some of the healthy people that eat well and all, so it's just one of those things where it's like, I get people's point, right? And I feel like, yes, I get it. They have large audiences, and you feel like they have an easier way to try to sell this stuff to kids. And it'd be nice if it started with them trying to teach people how to eat properly and get kids into healthier stuff. Like, I get both sides of it. It's not their job. It's not their responsibility. They're allowed to create businesses. And this is just how companies work. I mean, we live in America. The whole world calls us fat slobs. The whole world looks at some of the food that we eat and literally bans it in their countries. There's a reason for that, because all of our shit kind of goes in line with just things that aren't that good for you. It's just a fact of life. And as much as I do agree that it'd be nice to start to move in a better direction, you cannot put this on the back of those three and be like, well, you guys should have started the push in the right direction, when so many other people can. I mean, DanTDM, yes, maybe he did sponsor stuff in the past and he's changed his mind now. But does he promote healthy eating? Does he make videos or do anything showing kids how to be healthier, how to, right? Like, if you're not going to go in that direction and do that, then I don't know why you're going to hate on other people that are as well. It just doesn't make that much sense to me. As much as I do get the sentiment, I feel like it's like, lead by example. Don't just say, well, what happened to YouTubers? And it just seems a little bit wild to me. So that's my opinion on it. Hopefully some of this was coherent, as I wish with every single video that I put out. Since we're speaking about snacks, I'm actually going to be live tonight trying a whole lot of different Mexican snacks that the homie Ryan sent through. So if you guys want to stop in, twitch.tv/DwayneTV. Maybe I'll do a joint stream tonight, actually, and we'll do it to my main YouTube channel. So if anybody wants to stop in over there as well, there is a lot of snacks in here. And I feel like I'm going to gain 5+ pounds just sampling them. We've got so many different flavored Takis. I've got cinnamon bun things, muffins, chocolate with filling, and just all sorts of just madness in this box. I have no idea how I'm going to set up my room. I'm going to try to figure out a way where you guys can see all the snacks on the table, and we'll kind of just go through them. And then I'll probably do a little bit of gaming after or something, depending on what time it is. But if you guys want to stop in, I appreciate you. Let me know what you guys thought about this topic down below, and I'll catch you in the next one, homies.